Right.
And of course, when you have that many, every year you're going to have one or two pretty dominant teams.
Certainly.
We just hope Logan can be one of those, one of these upcoming years here.
Yep, and the Berries moving to Sectional 18 with Kankakee Valley and Plymouth and New Prairie and Culver Academies, that's right. And then the three South Bend schools, South Bend St. Joseph, South Bend Clay, and South Bend Riley, I think. I can't remember.
That's what you had, yeah.
But there's no Jay County, there's no Leo, and as Brian Strong talked about, there's no Fort Wayne Dringer, where if you drop Fort Wayne Dringer in the first round, your season's pretty much over, and that's no disrespect to your squad, but that's just how good Bishop Dringer has been over the years.
Several years back, we had a great season. We went to Dwenger to play a sectional game, and when they came out, I thought I was at a college game. There were 84 kids,
wow,
all dressed in Irish colors, and I really thought I was at a Notre Dame Irish football game. It was just you just get intimidated.
Yeah, certainly.
And they're good.
Oh yeah, no question about it. All right, I think we're about ready to start. So we will. So we're getting ready to step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have the first pitch of this North Central Conference game between Lafayette Harrison and Logansport. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy at Mike Anderson with award-winning dependability year after year after year after year. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag with American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. It's almost time for the first pitch of Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
The Chamber of Commerce, along with Logansport Radio, congratulates this month's Member of the Month, Cass Plaza Apartments, located at 300 Cass Plaza Drive in Logansport. Stop by soon and see their recent renovation that has earned them this special recognition. We appreciate your hard work and investment in your business and in our community. Congratulations, Cass Plaza Apartments, this month's Member of the Month from all of us at the Cass County Chamber of Commerce and Logansport Radio.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. We are just about ready to get things started. Following a brief rain delay to get things started, a strong shower moved through the Logansport area, so it did not allow the teams to be able to warm up. The Berries, though, were able to take advantage of the barn here beside us. They got loose. Harrison was not able to do so. They took a very short infield, so we're just about ready to go. So the Berries defensively, Will Bennett is at first, Mike Meadows at second, Tucker Platt at short. At third base, it is that Gavin Smith, that's right. In outfield, left to right, is Drake McLaughlin in left, Jacob Cox in center, and Charlie O'Connor in right field. Ethan Denny behind the plate. And on the mound, left-hand senior Jacob Cayley, who, after a little bit of a rough start Saturday morning, because the game started a little bit early to try and get it in before the rain hit, and because of the prom as well, took him a couple at bats to get loosened up. But after that, he was the Jacob Cayley we've come to get used to this season.
Oh yeah, Jacob's done a fine job, and he's the guy you want to hand the ball to in these kind of situations. And this being a Tuesday, he should be ready to go by Saturday. Wherever and whoever we play Saturday.
Yep, definitely.
Should be all set to go by then. So that part works out pretty nice. And they try not to overload this week, which they haven't. We've only got 2 scheduled games, and gives your pitchers a chance to make sure they're available for Saturday, especially if you have to play 2 games.
Yep. So for the Harrison Raiders, leading things off, Cade Simmons. He'll be followed by Grant McCoy and then Trey Cochran. The first 3 due up for the Harrison Raiders. As we're going to get started at about 5:55, so not too bad. They were looking for 5:50 start time, so not bad at all. So 5:55 official start time. Jacob Cayley gets the sign from Ethan Denny. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Squaring around to bunt in front of the plate. Ethan Denny picks it up on a big hop. Strong throw to first, and he retires Simmons. Simmons didn't put the bunt where he wanted to, I'm sure, as that was just a couple feet in front of the plate. And Ethan, an easy play, he was able to gather it on a big hop.
I'm sure you picked up like I did. First of all, he's left-handed. He was picking them up and moving them down, going down that line. So I'm sure he tends to do that quite often.
So here's another left-hander. Grant McCoy, left-handed hitting catcher, batting second for the Raiders. Here's a breaking pitch for a called strike in the outside corner. McCoy checked his swing, but that caught the outside corner. Nasty pitch that time from Cayley. 0-1 on McCoy. Fastball in the inside corner, fouled, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'm certainly glad we have a lineup card with their numbers on it, because it's certainly not easy to see those numbers on the uniforms.
Oh, it is not. They're not filled in.
No, they got some. It looks like they got some navy blue numbers on black uniforms with orange outline. So fastball misses just high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ethan set up high to try to get McCoy to chase. He laid off it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Whoa.
Breaking pitch is up high. 2 balls and 2 strikks.
That didn't work out very
No,
well.
it sure didn't. And Jacob.
It just slipped out of his hand.
Yep. that could be a factor tonight. Although this field does drain extremely well, there still could be some moisture on the ball from time to time. There's a high pop fly behind the screen, out of play. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the lights have been on, I pulled in right around 4:30 here tonight, and the lights were already on here at Turner Field.
He's a pretty good sized kid for a second in the lineup.
There's a break pitch for a call, strike 3. And I thought it fooled the umpire first. As they got
I know,
it was
I
a
did
delayed
too.
call on that strike, but it was certainly over the plate. First strikeout for Jacob Cayley. 2 up and 2 away for the Harrison Raiders, and Trey Cochran.
Another good sized kid.
Sure is.
Man,
You talked about Harrison brought their football team when you saw him warming up in the outfield. This is a lot of size on this ball club. Here's a rip shot into left center field, in it for a base hit. Drake McLaughlin hustling, cuts it off nicely to keep it from going into the fence to hold him to a single.
Yeah, real nice job out there by Drake to cut that off.
I mean,
The
that
field
ball
might be just a hair slower than
Right.
normal, but it still carries out pretty well on
sure
its
does.
artificial
And
stuff.
that was an absolute rocket off the bat of Trey Cochran.
He did not wait.
No, he did not. I'm sure Jacob Cayley will file that pitch away
Yes.
for his next at bat and probably not let him see a similar pitch. So a 2-out single for Cochran. Cleanup hitter now Jacob Kyle into the batter's box. Takes a called strike in the outside corner. 0-1 on Kyle, the Raiders' first baseman.
We got a pretty nice sized kid, a couple of them, shortstop, second base, but they got a whole team.
Yes, they do. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. I think Cayley took a little something off that one. Kyle held up a little bit, but was still out in front. So he's in the hole now, 0-2. Cochran on at first, and 2 outs for the Raiders here in the top half of the first. Runner goes. Fastball is outside. Throw down to second base is not in time, and it hit the runner as he was sliding into second base.
Kind of helped us.
Yes, it did, because that was tailing away from Mike Meadows at second base. It was going to go into right center field.
And it was going to get there a little quicker than what Tucker could get over back up on that side of the bag. So
Yep, Cochran.
he really stole that on Jacob, though.
Yep. Cochran may have had a chance to get the third, but because it hit him, it carried him right to Meadows, so he's at second base with 2 outs. Here's a check swing, and he held off, and they're gonna say he
No, he
won.
did not
Okay.
hold off. All right.
So they called strike 3. No complaints from the Harrison dugout. So the side is retired for Harrison. No runs, a hit. They leave a man. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. It is Harrison nothing. Logansport coming to bat. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Barry's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. With over 2,000 employees operating from their Logansport facility, processing pork and poultry to feed millions of people around the world. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank, serving the community since 1934. Security Federal is here for you. Security Federal, courtesy, safety, flexibility, member FDIC. We thank you for listening to Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field. 1/2 inning in the books. The Harrison Raiders got a 2-out single, but Jacob Cayley struck out cleanup hitter Jacob Kyle to strand him there. So here come the Logansport Berries for their initial at bat of the night. Their batting order is as follows. Jacob Cox leads off. He's in center field. Batting second at first base, Will Bennett. Hitting third, shortstop Tucker Platt. Batting fourth, playing second base, is Mike Meadows. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Drake McLaughlin. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, C.J. Hallam. Hitting seventh, behind the plate, Ethan Denny. Batting eighth at third base, Gavin Smith. Hitting ninth and pitching is Jacob Cayley. in the lineup, but not in the batting order, is Charlie O'Connor, who is in right field for the Berries. So we'll see if Jacob Cox can continue his trend of getting on base from that leadoff spot. He's been there the last several games. His on-base percentage at last glance was not too bad for a leadoff guy.
Yeah, it's about, what do I got now? Up to 458 on base. So, yeah, pretty good for a kid that's batting average a little bit under 200 right now.
There's a pitch inside and low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Oh, I tell you, did you see Ethan hop out on that pitch? I guess it was a drop third strike. I don't know what you would call it, but...
There's a fastball misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. As we look at the flag out across the way in left center field. Here's a fastball for a called strike, letter high, 2 balls and a strike. Not a whole lot of breeze, of course.
No, not really.
The flag at half staff due to the passing of former U.S. Senator Richard Lugar earlier in the week. There's a foul pop fly down the right field side out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we're going to try to get this game in. The Raiders made that long drive from West Lafayette, so we'll try to get this game in. There's a pitch swung on and missed. Was it dropped by the catcher? It was, but he'll throw him out at first, which he does. So after falling behind 2-0, James Ham does a good job to get the next 3 pitches over to strike out Jacob Cox. And Will Bennett to the batter's box. He'll bat next. And we'll see Will continues that aggressive stretch that Coach Turner was talking about. He wants his hitters up there swinging early. Yeah. Will does so. Here's a slicing line drive into left field, but it's going to hang up long enough for the catch to be made out there by Dalton Payne.
You know, slicing just not hard enough, fast enough, and I just hung up there, but he was going after that first pitch. And I think this kind of kid, that's probably a good lesson to take here. Pretty good hard-throwing right-hander. Senior, got some experience.
Yep. So here's Tucker Platt batting with the bases empty and 2 outs for Logansport here in the bottom of the first. Here's a pitch
you
down
can
low.
Just see when he released that, he was intentionally not giving it to Tucker whatsoever. 2 seniors facing each other. Have done this for a few years.
Oh, yeah. 1-0 pitch on the way to Platt. Fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike. A ball and a strike. The Berries and the Raiders hopefully will play tomorrow night at Lafayette Harrison, depending on field conditions and the weather. There's a ground ball off the end of the bat, fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Tucker's managed to get up to 500.
Wow.
Where he normally likes to hit somewhere around 500.
And just wonder how those games against Lafayette, Jeff, and Kokomo earlier in the season would be had they had a healthy Tucker Platt, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Here's a pitch for a swing and a miss, and Tucker is strikeout victim number 2, and the side is retired. Nothing across for the Berries in the first. We're through 1 complete inning. It is Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL. Presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group with Mike Anderson Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in downtown Logansport. Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year. See how this truck is a real game changer. And take a test drive. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag, featuring Whirlpool Appliances, the largest manufacturer of appliances in the world. American made with service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. Celebrating 70 years of service to Logansport. AM 1230 WSAL.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. Berries went down in order in their half of the first inning. Harrison got a 2-out single, so just 1 hit through the first inning. And the Raiders will bring 5, 6, and 7 up to the plate in the top half of the second inning. Seth Whaley, Carter Hahn, and Dalton Payne, the 3 to face Logansport's senior left-hander Jacob Cayley. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow night, and then we'll let the dust settle and see what happens with the North Central Conference Tournament on a Saturday. There's the first pitch of inning number 2 from Cayley. Foul back behind the screen, 0-1. On Seth Whaley, the Raiders' third baseman tonight. Barry's currently the number 5 seed in the Western Division. Will take on the number 4 seed in the Eastern Division, which currently is Muncie Central. Here's a line drive in right center field in for a base hit, and this is going to get all the way to the fence. Charlie O'Connor hustling, but extra bases for Whaley. Round second base, takes a big turn. He's on his way to third. Tucker Platt gets the relay. The throw to third is not in time.
We got a break there.
And Gavin Smith puts the tag on him, and that's the not being used to that field turf with all the rain that fell over the last few minutes as he slid past the bag, and that is out number 1 for the Raiders. And the Berries, as you said, Steve, caught a serious break there. And you could tell he got I wouldn't say a late slide, but it wasn't an early one either. And I thought, well, as soon as he
slid, my goodness.
And he went well past the bag.
Yeah, well past it, yes.
And credit to Gavin Smith being heads up. He knows the field conditions here. Knew it was a possibility he could overslide the bag, especially with these wet conditions. So a triple for Seth Whaley, but he is tagged out when he overslid the bag, so 1 out for the Raiders. Here in the second inning, here's a letter high fastball for a called strike.
Just looks like a strikeout in the book.
1 ball and 1 strike to the designated hitter, Carter Hahn. Here's a pitch, swung on and missed. That was a nice pitch that time from Jacob Cayley down on the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Harrison with a couple of hits, and they have been absolute rockets. A single from Cochran in the first, a triple from Whaley here in the third. Check swing, swung on. Well, and they're going to tag him out, and they're going to say foul ball or no swing. They had put the.
Well, no, he can't.
He can't be at first base.
No, he can't be on first base.
Ethan tagged him, so
it's either out or it's a foul.
If it's a foul ball, or if it's not a strike, that's fine. But he can't be on first base because Denny applied the tag.
And it's not ball 4, so what's he doing on first base? Or he doesn't want to leave. Oh, well.
Catcher's interference is probably, but I don't think that was the case.
I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't look like it from the looks of him.
As Mr. Platt said, he's trying to steal first base. And
that's right.
And
so was that a 1 and 2?
That was.
Yeah, okay, there it is.
Because Ethan clearly tagged him out.
Oh,
so,
definitely, yeah.
So, I mean, the one thing he couldn't be, well, other than the catcher's interference. There was no way he could have been at first base.
We got the replay booth right here.
Right. So that is already the 3rd strikeout for Jacob Cayley here in an inning through an inning and 2/3. That brings Dalton Payne to the plate. Takes a look at ball 1.
Well, between the 2 pitchers, there's already 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. 2 for Harrison, 3 for Logansport pitching. So here's a pitch, foul back to the screen, 1 ball and 1 strike. And so I think so far in the early going, I think that's more a product of quality pitching.
2.
As opposed to poor hitting, because these 2 pitchers have been dominant so far here in the early going. Here's a swing and a miss. Cayley took a little something off that fastball.
And even more than that, I mean, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 batters, there's been 4 catcher assists already.
There's a pitch. This is down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty for Harrison here in the top of the second. 2 outs. Ground ball toward the Berries dugout. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I know. Let's see.
Berries got some good news in the basketball sectional realignment as well. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Jacob Cayley with his 4th strikeout through 2 innings. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on base for Harrison. We go to the last half of the second inning. It's Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has become an iconic image in Logansport. As the largest employer in Cass County, Tyson Fresh Meats is also a working partner in the Midwest and Canada, with hog transports coming to Logansport every day from hundreds of miles away. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Join Security Federal for our annual Ownership Day on Friday, May 31st. The community is invited for lunch and fun. Look for more details. Security Federal, member FDIC. This is Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. Berries and Harrison in a scoreless tie. We go to the last half of the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 2 up for Logansport. Mike Meadows, Drake McLaughlin, and C.J. Hallen. So far, strikeouts have ruled the night here at Turner Field. Of the 9 outs so far, 6 have gone down via strikeout. 4 for Cayley, 2 for Ham. Here's Mike Meadows, takes a look at ball 1 outside. 1 ball, no strikes. I think Coach Turner's liking to have Mike Meadows in that spot right behind Tucker Platt to protect Tucker against some intentional walks. Here's a high pop fly foul, drifting out of play. Now Tucker still got some intentional walks, but boy, Mike Meadows hit an absolute rocket right after an intentional walk, ran it right to the shortstop to end the game. But I think teams are going to have to think twice before putting Tucker on the way Mike's been swinging the bat.
And if they pay attention to what Drake McLaughlin does right behind Mike, they're not going to be able to pitch around
That's right.
Mike very, very much.
2 balls and a strike to Mike Meadows, leading off the Berries' second inning. There's no score here in the last half of the second. Fastball misses high and inside.
Thing was coming.
Yes, it was. 3 balls and a strike. Like I said, I didn't see Mike's parents, but they're back in their familiar spot, just around the corner from us. Here's a fastball for a called strike 2. Down around the knees, so the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield, outfield pretty much straight away on Meadows. Here's the payoff pitch. Here's one into right field.
Get down.
Off the hands of Mike Meadows, but it's going to be caught by the right fielder, Jake Gothrop. I thought it might have a chance to fall in.
Yeah,
but,
a little top spin on it, but just not enough to dive down in front of that right fielder. Kind of jammed him just a hair. He just didn't really get his arms fully extended.
That was a quality pitch at 3-2. No question about it for Ham to get the Berries leadoff man off here in the second inning. Drake McLaughlin to the plate. First pitch swinging, McLaughlin fouls it back.
That's good. Like to see that. Right down the heart of the plate, not taken.
So Drake McLaughlin, the Berries left fielder tonight, batting with the bases empty. And 1 out here in the last half of the second inning in a scoreless tie. Here's the foul off the end of the bat. Back to the screen, 0-2. Now McLaughlin, we got a race, and Jacob Cayley comes up a distant second to Bryce McCormick. Now McCormick's getting some high fives from the bench, and he should, but he was a little bit closer than Cayley. Here's a rope ripped down the left field line, but it's hooking foul.
Oh, I didn't see it.
That was rip. Sure was. That was 0-2, and he tried to jam him, but Drake jumped, got the bat head out in front of that one, and ripped a shot down the foul line, down the left field foul line. Fastball outside 1-2, and Ham's like, I've seen enough of how you want that inside pitch.
Exactly. His second catcher was set up way outside, and he hit him out there.
A ball and 2 strikes to McLaughlin. Here's a pitch swung on and missed, dropped by the catcher. He tags McLaughlin out, and that is out number 2, third strikeout for Ham. That is the 7th strikeout of the game between the 2 pitchers combined.
Wow. Well, just that alone is going to make this a fairly quick game.
So C.J. Hallen bats with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. There's a fastball, misses up high. C.J. checks his swing. Thought they might appeal to the first base umpire. They do not. Didn't look like C.J. went around.
Yeah, I would have been upset if they ruled against him. It
was close, but
he's throwing some heat.
Yes, he is. Here's a high pop fly into shallow right center field. Long run for the center fielder. That will fall in for a base hit.
Wow. Just out of the reach of everybody. It did look like it might just hang up too much. And kind of the same thing that happened to Meadows. He kind of got in on him and jammed him a little bit. Did not get a full extension of his arms, but at least CJ was able to get it in the right place out there.
Yep, so a 2-out hit for the Berries. Logansport with their first hit of the night, and that will bring to the plate Ethan Denny. And Cade Simmons, that leadoff hitter for Harrison with good speed, but he couldn't quite catch up to it. Did all he could, a diving effort. But it falls in front of him for a 2-out single. And Ethan Denny hit a couple balls real hard in Game 2 of that doubleheader Saturday against Anderson. 1 for a single, 1 was caught by the center fielder. First pitch swinging is Denny. Here's a high pop fly into shallow right center field. Simmons will come in to shallow center field to make the catch, and the side is retired. For Logansport, no runs a hit, no errors, they leave a man. We go to the third inning. It is Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
This is WSAL, and you're listening to Berries Baseball, presented by The Mike Anderson Auto Group with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy Silverado at Mike Anderson. The strongest and most dependable Silverado ever. It's one heck of a truck. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag. With American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. Remember, good service isn't expensive, it's priceless. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. We hope that you're enjoying this broadcast of Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field. 2 innings are in the books, and pitching has dominated these first 2 innings. Is just 3 hits combined, the two teams, and a total of 7 strikeouts already. So Kaylee and Ham in a pitcher's duel through 2 innings. For the Harrison Raiders, 8, 9, and 1 coming to the plate here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Nick Collier, Jake Gothrop, and then the top of the order, and Cade Simmons 2 up. So Harrison with a couple of real solid hits. Trey Cochran with a rocket in left center field, and Seth Whaley with a triple, but he was tagged out when he overslid the bag in third, but 2 absolute rockets hit off from Jacob Kidd. But other than that, he has held Harrison in check. First pitch to Kyle. He tries to bunt his way on, goes right back to the mound. Kaylee up with it quickly. Throw to first is in time. Good job by Will Bennett to stay on the bag, as that throw was a little bit up the line a little bit. But Will, with that long arm, was able to reach out and grab it for out number 1. So the second time Harrison's tried to bunt their way on for a base hit. But got to get it more down the line to try and get it on a bait.
So they're either just trying to test Jacob, maybe what field they're thinking, or they're just good bunters, or they're bad hitters. Who knows? The left-handers.
Yep.
Both of these guys have tried for bump base hits.
So Jake Gothrop, right fielder, takes a look at ball 1. Here's a high fly ball down the first base side, drifting out of play. Not too far out. Charlie O'Connor gave it a long run, as did Will Bennett, who went a long way from that first base position, but ran out of room. Connor's even at a ball and a strike. So the field turf coming in handy. There's little doubt that this game would not have been played without
Probably not.
if it was a natural field. Here's a foul off the end of the bat, back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harrison still with a natural grass field, so hard telling what condition that field's going to be in come tomorrow.
Curious to see what it'd be like tonight, actually.
Yep. There's a 1-2 pitch, breaking pitch for a call.
Wow.
Strike 3, strikeout number 5 for Kaylee through 2 2/3 innings. And that will bring up Cade Simmons, top of the order. He tried to bunt his way on his first time up. Didn't get it out far enough, just a couple feet in front of home plate. Ethan Denny was able to pick it up and throw him out. So he's 0 for 1 on the day. Here's a fastball. Catches the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1. So these two teams scheduled to do battle at Lafayette Harrison tomorrow night, weather and field conditions permitting. Here's a breaking pitch. Did miss by much.
He gave me a long look, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Simmons tried to sell it by ducking out of the way, but it was closer to the plate than it was to him. Here's a fastball down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Logansport nothing, Harrison nothing. The Raiders batting with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Leadoff man Cade Simmons takes a look at ball 3. So it's 3 balls and a strike. I think this might be the first time Jacob's gone to 3 balls and a bat. I'm trying to think
it is.
back.
You're exactly right. First 3-ball count of the night.
So Simmons ahead in the count, 3-1. Pitch on the way from Kaylee. Here's one ripped into left center field. It is slicing away from center fielder Cox. Will go all the way to the fence. Simmons with good speed, but he will be content with a stand-up double. Second extra base hit for the Raiders. Whaley had a triple back in the 2nd inning. And now a 2-out double from Cade Simmons, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Boy, when they're not striking out, they're hitting the ball hard as a gas.
They are. Yep, that's been a couple gappers. The 3rd one, only Drake McLaughlin's great hustle kept Cochran's from becoming extra bases back in the 1st inning. But they've hit 3 in the gap, 2 for extra bases. So Grant McCoy struck out his first time up. Here's a high chopper towards second base. Big hop for Mike Meadows. He's up with it cleanly. Throw to first in time. And the side is retired. For Harrison, no runs, a hit, no errors. They leave a man. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has invested millions of dollars into the Logansport facility, demonstrating its confidence in the workforce created in the Logansport region. Tyson Fresh Meats is proud to be operating in Cass County. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Security Federal gives back, contributing over $120,000 to charitable causes in the communities we serve. When you bank with us, you give back. Thank you. Security Federal, member FDIC. This is Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary, Joe Stats, back at Turner Field in Logansport. We have gone to the bottom half of the third inning. No score between Harrison and Logansport. The Berries 8-9-1 due up. Gavin Smith, Jacob Kelly, and then to the top of the order, and Jacob Cox, as James Ham begins his third inning of work here for the Harrison Raiders. He has given up just one hit and striking out 3 through 2 innings. So we've got ourselves a pitcher's duel, at least for the time being.
For the time being, it's a real pitcher's duel. Holy cow. And even catcher's duel, because they've been busy also.
Yes, they have. Had a couple of drop third strikes. They've either had to tag the man out or throw him out. And Ethan Denny had to throw a man out trying to bunt his way out. So both catchers been busy as well. Here's the first pitch to Gavin Smith. Takes a look at a fastball in the outside corner. No balls and a strike. And this is a good-looking pitcher that Harrison has on the mound tonight.
He comes from the side just enough to get that ball tailing away. It's tough to pick up and hit.
There's a breaking pitch, misses up high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he's been keeping it down.
Yes, he has. And that one was up in the zone, so he asked for a new ball, and that's why it went up in the zone. The umpire has tossed it out, so that's
a wet one.
Yep. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Another one down, but this one was too low. 2 balls and a strike to Gavin Smith. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Harrison. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Berries. There's a fastball for a called strike in the outside corner. Boy.
There again, it's just coming at an angle. Just catching that corner as it goes by.
And that was a good pitch, so Gavin's got to protect now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch, pretty much the same location, and it's a called strike 3. A slight hesitation on the umpire, but
it was just a hair maybe lower. But Gavin's not a real tall guy, and that was picture perfect from the pitcher standpoint.
Yes, it was. That was a quality pitch at bat that time from James Ham, his 4th strikeout of the night. And that will bring Jacob Cayley to the plate. First pitch swinging is Cayley. Pop foul back near the Harrison bleachers. 0-1 on the Berries pitcher, Jacob Cayley. The Berries got some potentially good news in basketball sectional with Marion coming back and Zionsville moving back to sectional 8 in Indianapolis. Here's a pitch, misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that... And even though Marion's been going through a pretty good, they've recovered that program and been pretty strong the last couple of years.
There's a high pop fly, drifting foul down the first base side.
I think year in, year out, I'd much rather have Marion back in.
Oh, yeah.
And Zionville's going to have to go back to compete to teams down in their area, which we know is a pretty strong group.
Oh, yeah. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Cayley, inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam really dropped down from the side that time to try and get some movement on it. Didn't move enough as it stayed inside. Count is even up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a high pop fly back to the screen and out of play. There's the Logansport JV squad gathered in front of us. We're going to go after it, but someone beat him to it. So good to see the JV. Got a couple games in last week here at Turner Field. Here's a pitch, swung on and missed. And the side, or no, not side retired. That is the 5th strikeout. Looked like the first baseman was starting to come in, but he was just coming to first base so that is the 5th strikeout for Ham. And then top of the order, Jacob Cox. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. So So the Berries JV squad won Friday night against Wabash, and then they beat Pioneer on Saturday. Following the doubleheader, we were watching the weather all day long, hoping they'd be able to get at least one game in, which they were able to get one in. And the rain pretty much held off throughout much of the afternoon and early evening. So the rain did show up, but it was later than what it was originally forecast. So it was good for the Berries and the Pioneer Panthers to get at least one of those JV games in on Saturday. It's a fastball for a called strike.
He's consistently given that.
Yes, he is.
And Jacob, I don't know. And I agree, Jacob. Or that's not Jacob. That's Coxey.
Yeah.
That was a little bit outside.
I think it was, yep. Here's a pitch over but low. 2 balls and a strike. So just 4 hits combined between the two teams and 10 strikeouts so far. Here's a ground ball back to the screen.
Out of the 17 outs, 10 of them have been by strikeout.
And it's not poor hitting. It's just quality pitching.
Oh, it is.
From both these kids.
Yeah, these guys came out ready to pitch tonight.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Jacob Cox. Here's a ground ball hit toward shortstop. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first is just in time. He pulled it off the bag. Yep, Coach Platt was right on top of it as the first baseman came off the bag.
He did. Ever so slightly, but he did.
So that's got to be near on the first baseman, doesn't it?
I don't think that throw was all that bad.
I don't think so either.
I just don't think he went down and kind of a little bit nonchalant. Whichever, it's still an error.
And Jacob Cox was hustling all the way down the first base side, so that had something to do with it as well.
Well, he rifled that thing over there.
He sure did.
I think it did tail a little bit, but it was not in the dirt.
Yeah, I'm sure Kyle, the first baseman, told you that's a play he should have made.
Yeah.
And trying to bunt his way on is Will Bennett. It's a good bunt, but it goes foul. And too bad because the catcher was late picking that up. Grant McCoy did not see it off the bat of Will Bennett initially.
That was a great idea, even with 2 outs. I mean, he was definitely just bunting for a hit, and his ball stays fair, and he's down there easily.
Yep. Especially with this kid's pitching, do anything you can to try and generate a rally. So the Berries with an error and a potential bunt signal to get something going.
Goodness, I don't know which direction all that's going out there to the northwest.
I just noticed that
it is dark out there.
Some black skies. Here's a slow chopper towards first.
Nobody there.
It's going to be a tough play, and they were able to just get him in time. Good play over there by the pitcher, Ham. I didn't think he'd get there to cover. It beat Bennett to the bag, but he did. So nice play by that right side of the Harrison infield. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits. There was 1 Harrison error. We go to the 4th. It's no score between Logansport and Harrison. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group. With Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy at Mike Anderson with award-winning dependability year after year after year after year. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag with American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. Now, more Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field in the Logansport. It is no score, Harrison and Logansport. Harrison and Logansport in a scoreless tie. The Raiders will bring Trey Cochran, Jacob Kyle, and Seth Whaley to the plate. Pitch on the way from Jacob Cayley. Curveball for a called strike. And the black skies that we saw, Steve Clary, have moved significantly closer, and we see some people scrambling in the bleachers. Yep. Here's a pitch over but low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm trying to see.
Holy cow.
Does not look like the rain has started. But yeah, and people are already packing up their stuff. Wow, here's a breaking pitch for called strike 1 and 2. Because I have a feeling when it comes, it's gonna.
It may not last long, but
it's
there's something coming over. It's a dark.
Here's a pitch up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very ominous looking clouds. Yep.
Coming in, just going to kind of engulf this whole area.
And it's tough for the players. They Got to play through this as they see the same thing we do. Here's a pitch.
Come on, give it to him.
Did not miss by much. Curveball misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And look at that flag. The wind has shifted.
Shifted completely. Was blowing toward left field. Now it's blowing toward right field. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Kaylee. Foul back. Count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, you're right. Just past these, the dark skies looks back to just regular overcast skies.
Yeah.
Once this passes, hopefully this is not a rain-making cloud.
Right, maybe not.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Hit sharply down third baseline. Foul. Count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Batting here in the top half of the 4th inning are the Harrison Raiders. They have had 3 hits, 1 in each of the first 3 innings. They have committed 1 error. Logansport with just 1 hit so far through their 3 innings, as James Ham has been outstanding on the mound for the Raiders. Payoff pitch once again on the way. Another foul pitch.
He's hanging in there.
He sure is. Cochran ripped a single his first time up. He's 1 for 1 on the day.
Well, right here in the heart of the order, boy, you just got to get focus on every guy right now.
Yeah.
Bear down, 3-2 count.
There's the pitch. Another foul back. Cochran really hanging in.
I don't like the looks of this. You know what Yeah, and at more times than not, it's holds true. But Jacobs just got to keep battling.
Yep. See if he tries maybe to cross him up with a breaking pitch here. 3-2, let's see.
Yep.
He does throw a breaking pitch and a high pop fly down the first base side. A long run for Will Bennett. He is under it, and he makes the catch. A fine running catch that time from Will Bennett.
That was not easy.
He had to run a long way and
battle a little bit of wind on that ball that was tailing back. I don't know how it was doing it, but it was like it was coming back in.
I think so. Yep, coming back toward the field of play. But fortunately for Will, it was a mile high in the air, and that did give him a little bit of time to get underneath it, but not much. So he had to pretty much on a dead run to make that catch.
No kidding.
1 up and 1 away for Harrison here in the 4th. Here's a ground ball toward third. Big hop for Gavin Smith. Throw to first. What an arm from that freshman Gavin Smith in time to retire Jacob Kyle. 2 up and 2 down.
Except for that last batter.
Mm-hmm.
8 or 9 pitches, and only got hit. This kid retired him on 1 pitch.
And I know Gavin's only a freshman, but he might have the best arm on the team.
He might.
He has got.
It comes out of that hand.
He has got a cannon over there at third base.
Got some zip.
So that will bring Seth Whaley to the plate. He ripped a triple to the right center field power alley his first time up. Fortunately for the Berries, he overslid the bag on this wet turf.
So what Jacob do? Set about 2 feet outside.
Here's a 1-0 pitch.
Good.
Again went outside, and Whaley fouled it straight back to the screen. A ball and a strike. There's some lighter clouds.
It's lightening up.
Starting to play, so we might have dodged a bullet here with these dark clouds. Here's a 1-1 pitch for a called strike on the outside corner at the knees.
Thank you.
1 ball and 2 strikes. It looked pretty good from here. Slight delay in the call from that home plate umpire, but he did put that right arm in the air for the called strike too. 1-2 to Whaley. Here's a high pop fly into right field. It is hooking away. Long run, and what a catch by Charlie Connors. The sliding catch. It may have been even in fair territory, but he makes the play, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. It's Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Mary's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. With over 2,000 employees operating from their Logansport facility, processing pork and poultry to feed millions of people around the world. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. When you invest in Security Federal, you've invested in the community you live in. Remember, we go better together. Security Federal, member FDIC. Let's go back to the ballpark for Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. The Berries coming to the plate here in the last half of the 4th inning. They bring to the plate 3, 4, and 5. Tucker Platt, Mike Meadows, and Drake McLaughlin to face right-hander James Ham, who has given up just 1 hit and has struck out 5. Through.
First American League team in New York call.
So Steve Clary with a Trivia question for what was the name of the first New York baseball team? What was their nickname? Here's a fastball for a called strike. 0-1 on Tucker Platt, who struck out his first time up. 0-1 pitch on the way to Platt. Breaking pitch for a called strike 2. 0-2 on Tucker Platt.
American, 1903.
No runs, 1 hit for Logansport. No runs, 3 hits. And Tucker Platt will step out of the box, ask for a timeout. Ham wasn't trying to necessarily quick pitch him, but he was in a hurry, so Tucker decided to slow him down and step out. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way to Platt. Fastball misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It is getting lighter.
Yes, it is. So significantly lighter, and we can see the darkness in the distance as it has moved past. Here's a pitch swung on and missed.
Wow.
For the second time tonight, Tucker Platt is a strikeout victim. It is strikeout number 6 for James Ham.
You're not going to see that very often. That was a doggone good pitch.
So Mike Meadows flew out to the right fielder his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And pitch on the way to Meadows. Here's one ripped into left center field. Long run for the left fielder, but he makes a fine running catch. Does Dalton Payne, as that one hung up just a little bit off the bat of Meadows. That had trouble written all over, but he got under it ever so slightly and allowed Payne to make the catch. Still a heck of a catch out there by Payne in left field for out number 2.
He was on that ball, though. He really ripped it.
And I think I know the answer to your question,
Do you?
but well, I'm going to know it when I hear it.
Wait till the break
It's
here.
on the tip of my tongue. Here's
Oh, look
Drake
there.
McLaughlin, first pitch swinging, and a single into center field for McLaughlin. Drake with his first hit of the night, and that will bring C.J. Allen to the plate. C.J. has the Berries' other hit, his first time up off the fist, a Texas leaguer in the right center field that fell in safely. 2 outs, a man on. Logansport and Harrison in a scoreless tie here in the last half of the 4th inning. Hallam swinging and fouled down the first base side out of play, as that one may have been out of the zone.
That's all right. I'd like to see him continue taking a hack at those kind of pitches and drill it down that right field line.
So there's, a lot, because that right fielder's shaded over toward right center field.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Lots of room down that right field line for C.J. Hallam. Here's a pitch over but low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Like I say, look in this game, this is looking like a 1 run's going to seem huge.
Yep, absolutely. 1-1 pitch on the way to Hallam. Runner goes. Here's one foul back.
Nice job. Good job there. Looked like a hit and run was on, and boy, if he could have got that in fair territory at all, Drake would have been able to score.
Oh, yeah. Since it's CJ's behind the count 1-2, we'll see if maybe Coach Turner decides to turn him loose again. Try and jumpstart this offense. Runs, and there he goes. In the dirt down low. Throw down to second base. Is not in time. Gets away from the shortstop, but backing it up. Gets away from the center fielder.
Oh, my goodness.
But McLaughlin
well, you
was
just
late
don't know
picking
that.
up. Yeah, he was late picking up the ball, and plus he took a couple extra seconds to get up as well on that wet turf. He wanted to make sure he stayed on the bag. But he did steal second base, and he's in scoring position, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to C.J. Hallam. So Drake with some pretty good speed over there at second base.
Yeah.
So he's got a chance to score on if C.J. can come through with another hit for the Berries. 2-2 pitch in the turf, gets away from the catcher. McLaughlin off and running, throw to third is not in time, and Drake does a great job not oversliding the bag.
Yeah, he hooked that bag with that foot
And his
like
left
he's
arm.
had practice.
Yeah, definitely. And that was heads-up base running for McLaughlin.
It sure was.
It didn't get far away from the catcher, but as soon as he saw it get away, he was off and running.
Which is the way you're supposed to run those bases.
Yep. With his good speed, he was able to get in safely. 3-2 pitch to Hallam, over but low.
Oh.
Ball 4. So Berries with men on the corners. First time tonight that we have multiple runners on base for either side. We have not had anybody with more than 1 man on. And Ethan Denny to the plate. We'll see. I thought we were going to have a runner, and we are. Cal Parmeter to run for C.J. Hallam. So C.J. does his job. He's been on base both times. That's what you want out of your designated hitter. A single and a walk. He's at first. Well, now Parmeter, the pinch runner's in at first. McLaughlin at third. And here's Ethan Denny Ethan's
He's been hitting the ball well, but unfortunately he's been popping everything up. So I like to see him back arm stay on top of the pitch.
Here's a fastball for a called strike one, 0-1. Maybe not a bad idea for Ethan to take a look at one. That was well located. Plus, he was retired on the first pitches last time up. So
I agree, yeah.
Chance to look at another pitch off Ham. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Here's a chopper toward the Harrison dugout. Foul. He's in the hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. And just as we talked about the skies lightening up, they've darkened it a little bit again. Okay. So I thought maybe I heard a thunder boomer, but we have a visitor into the clubhouse that in the press box. That's what I heard. Runner goes for a called strike 3, knee-high fastball on the inside corner, and the side is retired. The Berries, no runs a hit. They leave 2. We go to inning number 5. It's Harrison 0, Logansport 0. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
This is Barry's Baseball on WSAL, presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group, with Mike Anderson Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in downtown Logansport. Jeep, the most awarded SUV brand ever, picked up another accolade for 2019 with the new Jeep Wrangler, the 2019 Motor Trend SUV of the Year. Driving is so much fun in a Jeep. From Mike Anderson. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag, featuring Whirlpool Appliances, the largest manufacturer of appliances in the world. American made, with service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport, celebrating 70 years of service to Logansport. AM 1230, WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary, Joe Stetz, back at Turner Field here in Logansport. 4 innings are in the books, and we are in a pitcher's duel, a scoreless tie between the Raiders of Harrison and the Berries of Logansport. Carter Hahn, Dalton Payne, and Nick Collier, 6, 7, and 8 due up for Harrison as Jacob Cayley in his 5th inning of work. Cayley with giving up just 3 hits so far, and he has struck out 5 through 4 innings. That was a quality pitch at bat that time from James Ham against Ethan Denton. Got him out on 3 pitches.
Yeah, but Ethan liked to have that pitch back. It's tough taking that 0-2 third strike.
Here's a fastball. Catches the inside corner for a called strike 1. Carter Hahn, a strikeout victim his first time up. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Pitch on the way from Cayley. Fastball, called strike 2, letter high fastball, 0-2. Steve talked about the shifting wind. It's still blowing out now to right field. It started out the day blowing out toward left. Here's a fastball, misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Denny set up outside. Cayley tried to get Carter Hahn to chase. He did not. Count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch, ground ball toward first base. Will Bennett fields it cleanly, but it goes just foul. Too bad for the Berries. That was an easy out. Good hustle over there by Will Bennett to field it, but just couldn't get it before it went foul.
Yeah, just the last minute went foul. But Jacob's still ahead, 1-2 in the count. This left-hander.
A ball and 2 strikes. Here in the top half of the 5th inning, we are in a scoreless tie between the Raiders and the Berries. 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch for a called strike 3. He struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Cayley. Dalton Payne, the left fielder, to the plate. He struck out to end the 2nd inning. His first time up. He's 0 for 1 as the quality pitching continues here tonight between Ham and Cayley. Here's a ground ball hit toward third. Diving stop by Gavin Smith. Goes off his glove into left field. I don't think Tucker would have had a chance to come out.
I don't either. I'm trying to think whether it's good that he tried for it or should have let Tucker take it. But by the time Tucker would have got it, he would have really been in that hole. So we're going to have to get an infield hit on that.
So hit number 4 for the Raiders. And that will bring to the plate Nick Collier. Collier grounded out to the pitcher. His first time up, he's 0 for 1. Big lead over there for Dalton Payne. Not going in the turf. Good stop by Ethan Denny. That was a tough hop, and he made a nice play.
Yes, he did. I mean, it's just not the stops. It's how quick he is to get back on his feet and be prepared to do something with it.
1 ball and no strikes. Dalton Payne on it first and one out for the Raiders here in the fifth. Here's a fastball outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Logansport nothing, Lafayette Harrison nothing. We're here in the top half of the fifth inning. The Raiders with 1 man on and 1 man out. And a 2-0 count on the way. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner for a called strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. Well, this kid is not only on the chalk, his foot might be
Oh my goodness!
across
I just
the
saw
chalk.
that. Yeah, holy cow!
Throw to first, diving back safely is Payne.
So yeah, like you said, one thing to be on it, but his toe's out of it.
Yep. Looks like he's right on the edge now. So here's the pitch in the turf. Another good stop by Ethan Denny. Like quick to his feet was Ethan as well, and he kept his eye on that base runner the whole time as well. So he knew if that guy took off running, he was going to be able to throw him out. So a good stop from Denny, but now Jacob Cayley is behind in the count. 3 balls and a strike to Nick Collier. From the stretch is Cayley. Here's a pitch fouled back behind the umpire. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to let these last 2 guys in the lineup to come back and haunt you, especially with 1 down. If we can get this 8-man and then 9-man and don't turn it over, reach the top if at all possible.
So see what the Raiders choose to do. See if they turn the runner loose. 3-2, runner not going. Here's swung on a miss, throw to first, not in time. Diving back safely. Quick throw back there by Ethan Denny. Strikeout number 7 for Jacob Cayley. And that will bring Jake Gothrop, right fielder for the Raiders. Struck out looking his first time up. 2 outs, runner on first for the Raiders. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Good tailing fastball that time from Jacob Cayley. 0-1 on Gothrop. But Jacob Cayley doing a good job keeping a close eye on the base runner over at first base. Payne still with a nice lead. That might be the biggest lead he's had so far. Not going. Here's a breaking pitch foul back to the screen.
Took just to have enough off of that one to really get him off balance. Get a hit 0-2, this 9th place hitter.
That's Coach correct. Tracks down that foul ball to the screen. 0-2. We'll see if maybe Harrison decides to turn the runner loose at 0-2. He's not going. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. And Jacob Cayley strikes out the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave a man. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. It's Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
You're listening to Barry's Baseball on WSAL, presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has become an iconic image in Logansport. As the largest employer in Cass County, Tyson Fresh Meats is also a working partner in the Midwest and Canada, with hog transports coming to Logansport every day from hundreds of miles away. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Don't let your credit hold you back. With Security Federal's Credit Builder, you can start building your credit up today. Terms apply. Security Federal. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. This is Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. We have reached the bottom half of the 5th inning. Logansport and Harrison in a scoreless tie, and what an inning from Jacob Cayley striking out the side.
Wow. I just looked back, and Jacob has, 8 strikeouts, just adding to his very impressive, already impressive strikeout to walk ratio coming into the game was 4.2 strikeouts for every 1 walk. And tonight he's had
8-0, I believe, right?
8-0 tonight, yeah.
Yes, that's outstanding. So 8-9-1 do it for the Berries here in the 5th. Gavin Smith leading things off. Fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Smith will be followed by Jacob Cayley, and then Jacob Cox. The sky's still dark here at Logansport, but still no rain. Gavin fouls it back to the screen, or above the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, as dark as it is, that baseball it'll look like the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so white compared to the background.
1-1 pitch to Smith, misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gavin struck out looking his first time up. He's 0 for 1. As James Ham begins his 5th inning of work on the hill for Lafayette Harrison. Here's a pitch fouled behind the umpire. 2 balls and 2 strikes. These 2 teams scheduled to play at Harrison tomorrow night. And then we'll proceed with the North Central Conference Tournament on Saturday. Here's a ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit just past the shortstop, Trey Cochran. Leadoff single for Gavin Smith. And that will bring Jacob Cayley to the plate. And you would think the sacrifice would be on. We've seen Jacob with an ability to lay the bunt down.
Well, Gavin just followed up his initial strikeout with the base hit. We'll see if Jake would do the same thing. Or like you said, maybe lay it down and play for one. Yep.
Cayley squares around the bunt. Pitches in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher, Grant McCoy. Gavin Smith not able to advance. 1 ball, no strikes on Jacob Cayley. Did square around the bunt on that one.
You keep doing that, you might be able to draw a wild one here.
Oh, yeah. Seth Whaley, third baseman, in on the edge of the grass for the Raiders. Cayley again squares the bunt, puts one up in the air. This is going to be, it's going to go foul.
Thank goodness.
Yep.
That's what Jacob's saying. That seemed like I was hanging up way too long.
Sure was. And great hustle off the mound that time from Ham, too. As he caught it on a hop and very nearly caught it in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That had some topspin on it, too. It might have bounced back fair, but
I know. Yeah.
Ham was able to field it in foul territory to keep it foul. Cayley again squares the bunt.
There we go.
This one gets it down, and a nice bunt that time from Cayley. Throw to first is in time, and this perfect sacrifice executed by the Berries. Gavin Smith moves to second base. As Ham took a look at Gavin Smith.
Yeah.
But made the smart plays. I don't think he would have had to play at second.
I don't either. I'd like to see him try it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it away in the meantime. But either way, we got a man on second scoring position and only one down, so top of the order.
Yep. And here's Jacob Cox with a huge gap in right center field. The right fielder is shaded over toward the foul line. Here's a fastball over for a called strike at the knees. 0-1 on Jacob Cox. Reach base via an error his last time up. There's the throw from the shortstop. Cochran pulled the first baseman off the bag. But Coxie was not able to advance any further than that. Gavin Smith at second with 1 out for Logansport here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's a pitch in the turf. 1 ball, 1 strike. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Harrison. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Logansport. The Berries batting here in the home half of the 5th in a scoreless tie. Outstanding pitchers duel between James Ham and Jacob Cayley. To the pitch to Jacob Cox. Rip to shortstop. Short up. Great play by Cochran. The throw to first. Gets away from the first baseman. Cox is able to, on his way to second base. And moving to third is Gavin Smith.
Wow.
That is, I'm not sure what.
I don't either.
What happened with the first baseman on that one? Must have taken his eye off the ball or something.
I think we're going to have to give that one to him again.
I think you're right.
Well, Jacob's going to go down there and send him a Christmas card.
Sure is.
He's 2 for 2 getting there on that first baseman. And I tell you, let's give that umpire credit. He did not get missed by more than an inch.
Oh, yeah.
That line drive, he smoked it.
Yes, he did. So Harrison brings their infield in. Calls strike 1 to Will Bennett. Gavin Smith at third. Jacob Cox at second. 1 out for the Berries here in the bottom half of the 5th in a scoreless tie, but the go-ahead run is 90 feet away for Logansport. Will Bennett, a high chopper toward third, fielded cleanly by the third baseman. The throw is in time to get Will Bennett out.
I don't know. I think.
Well, maybe it has something to do with the man coming to the plate, too.
Well, possibly, but my goodness, late in the game, I don't know. Yeah, the coach, I'm sure, was holding him up there, but me being a speed runner, Gavin's a speedy runner. As soon as I see that third baseman release that ball, I think I'm taking my chances.
Now we're going to have a conference at the mound, so a lot of times with 1 out, though, it's contact. When you see it hit the ground, you take off running.
One or the other, yes. It's a little tougher when it's contact and it's coming your way.
Right.
But you kind of dance around a little bit. That third baseman wasn't close to the line. He was off the. So as far as he gets off, you could have gotten off.
Right.
He could have been a good 15, 20 feet off that bag.
Yep.
Do the math. That'll lose you 70 to go.
Right.
And they got to make 2 perfect throws. So it's hindsight. We got Tucker drive 1 home and we'll forget it.
Yep. And Tucker is due. He's 0 for 2. Has struck out both times. And you know he would love nothing better than to make up for those 2 at bats, and he can do so right here with men at second and third and 2 outs here in the last half of the 5th. Logansport and Harrison, no score. First pitch swinging his plat, a little bit late on that one, fouled it down the first base side out of play.
Well, prior to that one, has he even got a foul ball?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure either. That's a step in the right direction. At least he's on it.
Yep. He's got it, and the second baseman is shaded over toward first, so there's a big hole up the middle for Tucker if he can get it through. There's a pitch swung on, fouled back right at the plate.
what he struck out on last time up was about that same inside
Yep.
pitch, and he normally doesn't swing at those.
So perhaps he's been fooled by maybe the movement
Possible.
of that. But yeah, I'm with you. You don't see that very often. So he's in the hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch for a called strike 3. Tucker was fooled again on that one. And the side is retired. The Berries strand a couple of men. We go to the 6th. It is Harrison nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to Barry's Baseball on WSAL, presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group, with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Mike Anderson has one of the most iconic cars ever made in America, the Chevy Corvette. Corvette allows you to become one with the road. Get your Corvette at Mike Anderson. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag, with American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. Remember, good service isn't expensive, it's priceless. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. We hope that you're enjoying this broadcast of Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary, Joe Stats, back at Turner Field. We have reached inning number 6. Logansport and Harrison in a scoreless tie. The Berries threaten second and third with just 1 out. But Ham got a couple of big outs. Will Bennett and Tucker Platt to retire at the side.
Yeah, in another game like this, zeros all the way across the board. Hitters on both sides having a hard time finding those base hits. Even with that 1 out, Will up with those guys, I might even thought about trying to squeeze him
Right.
out.
So top of the order for Harrison here in the 6th. Cade Simmons takes a look at a fastball inside and high, 1 ball, no strikes. Simmons singled his last time up, tried to bunt his way on back in the first. He's 1 for 2 on the night for the Raiders. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Kayla took something off that pitch. Simmons out in front of it. A ball and a strike. The dark clouds have moved out of the way, at least for the time being. Here's a breaking pitch, misses inside, 2 balls and a strike. So the rain has held off so far. We got a 25-minute rain delay to start things off. Here's one ripped into right field, and it is deep. Charlie O'Connor is going to have it go over the fence for a ground rule double, as that was smoked by Simmons. And that might have saved the Berries a base.
I think so.
With Simmons' speed, I think he would have easily been able to get to third, but the ground rule double will keep him at first. But Harrison has their leadoff man aboard and in scoring position. And that will bring Grant McCoy, the scheduled hitter. But I don't know. Okay, there. I was going to say I don't see him, but he's down talking to his third base coach. So you would think the bunt would be on here, or because he's a left-hand hitter, maybe try to let him swing away, make sure he tries to go to the right side at least, if nothing else, to get that runner to third on a ground ball. But Will Bennett in close at the bag at first, looking for a bunt. Tries to bunt his way on McCoy. Bunts right through it. Nothing and 1. I'm not sure if McCoy's a good bunter. That was not a good effort, unfortunately, for the Raiders on that one.
Right, yeah.
So we'll see if he can try something, do a better effort here on 0-1. Again, squares the bunt. Takes a look and pulls the bat back as that was down and away. A ball and a strike. That's Will Bennett charging in very close from first, and Mike Meadows hustling all the way, covering the bag behind Will Bennett over there at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike for Harrison, for Grant McCoy. Harrison with a man at second and nobody out here in the top of the 6th and a scoreless tie. McCoy puts it down, and this is a quality bunt. And Kaylee can't pick it up. Throw to first is not in time. What a bunt that time from McCoy.
As soon as he bunted down directly, almost on the foul line, baseline, forcing Gavin Smith to come in, vacate the bag.
Yep.
And, you didn't want that to happen, but there really wasn't much of a chance for Jacob to get over there and make a play on.
No, that was a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt. So as bad as McCoy's effort was, flailing away at that first one, he more than made up for it.
I guess we guessed wrong on that.
Because that was outstanding. What a bunt. So first and third. Now the dangerous 3-hitter Trey Cochran, who ripped a single his first time up. And we got Coach Correct coming to the mound to talk situation maybe as much as anything.
Nobody out.
Yep, run so hard to come by. You mentioned a suicide squeeze possibility with the Berries in their previous half inning. That certainly that can't be ruled out, even though it is the three-place hitter who hit the ball hard his first time up. But you just got to be prepared for any situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these kind of games, it's just natural to look back and say, well, what if, one play here, one play there. So you just got to keep fighting through it. We still got a couple of bats. They haven't scored yet.
That's right.
Jacob's been throwing a well of a ball game.
Yes, he has. 8 strikeouts.
Yeah, 8 strikeouts, and his previous high for the season has been 5. So
wow.
He's obliterated that.
So this would be a great time to get strikeout number 9 with first and third, and nobody out for Harrison here in the top half of the 6th inning. In a scoreless tie, no runs and 5 hits for Harrison. No runs and 3 hits.
Just don't like this though. 3, 4, 5 coming.
Oh yeah. Pitch on the way. Breaking pitch misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And Cochran had a long at bat last time as he fouled several pitches off against Caleb before Jacob got him to pop out in foul territory. And a nice play by Will Bennett on a breaking pitch. So Cochran, a very, very dangerous hitter in that 3-hole for the Raiders. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And they do have a base empty, even though it's not the base. It's first base. Second base is empty, so.
I'm not sure. I don't think he's intentionally pitching it around.
Here's the 2-0 pitch to Cochran. Check swing gets away from Denny. Runner goes down to second base. Ethan bluffs the throw. Good play that time. Now you got a base open. And it's 3-0. And now with.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking it was a foul ball, but it was just a.
As good as this kid, I think they're just put him on. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to the cleanup hitter, Kyle, but Cochran is.
It's just percentages.
Yep. And he's been a tough out here so far tonight.
That's part of the percentage.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, Jacob Kyle, who is 0 for 2, first baseman for the Raiders, struck out in the first, grounded out to third, back in the fourth. He has committed both errors, and errors pulled his foot off the bag on one and then dropped one earlier, both times when Jacob Cox was at the plate. So Kyle would love to atone for those errors. He's got a chance to do so right here with the bases loaded and nobody out for Harrison. Here's a pitch over but low. Good stop, I believe, by the umpire as he got past Ethan Denny, but the umpire stopped that one. 1 ball, no strikes.
Or was that a? I don't know. Ethan's just tricky enough. He might have known exactly where that ball was.
That could have been.
Trying to draw somebody off the bag.
So the Berries corner infielders are in. Middle infielders in double play depth. Here's a pitch over but low. 2 balls and no strikes. So now Kyle's in a very good position. Ahead in the count 2-0 with the bases loaded, nobody out. No place to put him. You'd expect a fastball here 2-0. Like I said, you get a breaking pitch for a call on the outside corner.
A nice curveball on the outside corner.
Wow, that was well located that time from Jacob Cayley. I'm sure Kyle was not looking for that.
I bet not.
2 balls and a strike. Comes right back with a fastball. This one down low. 3 balls and a strike.
Curveball seems to be a pretty good pitch for him tonight, though.
Simmons is on at third base. Courtesy runner for the catcher McCoy at second, and Cochran at first. Nobody out for the Raiders here in the top half of the 6th inning in a scoreless tie. Raiders threatening, to put a run on the scoreboard. Here's a pitch. Gets away from Ethan Denny. That will force a run home. Ethan hustles after it, but no further advancement. But the Raiders do get a run home. First run of the game. Base is still loaded. Still nobody out. So the second consecutive walk from Jacob Cayley. The first one intentional. This one unintentional. And now Seth Whaley, who ripped a triple his first time up. And then was tagged out after he overslid the bag. Back in the 2nd inning. Flew out to Charlie O'Connor, who made an outstanding catch, sliding near the fence to rob him of extra bases his last time up. So he's 1 for 2, but he's gone the other way both times. So Barry's got to be aware of that, and he's got a big hole in right center field to work with as Logansport brings their infield in. Here's a pitch, ground ball hit towards second base. Meadows flips to second for an out. Tucker Platt was late getting there, and he was in Tucker's defense. He was drawn in.
Well, yes,
playing into.
I'm not so sure, though.
I don't know if they would have had a chance for a double play.
Well, was there a chance to come home with that and get one?
I would certainly, as well as Mike throws the ball.
And as close as he was, he's in the middle of the base path.
So they do get the runner out going to second base, but it's now 1st and 3rd with 1 out and another run in for Harrison. The Raiders now extend to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a fastball for a called strike in the outside corner. 0-1. And the usual, the middle infielders usually go for 2, but when the infield's drawn in, that took Tucker a long time to have to get to the bag from where he was positioned before that pitch. Here's one ripped down the first base side, just fouled past a diving Will Bennett. 0-2 on the designated hitter Carter Hahn.
If you're going to hit it down hard, hit it down too well. Don't be trying to
That's
do
right.
that.
Hahn is 0 for 2. He is struck out in the second, struck out looking in the fifth. And he's behind in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way from Cayley. High chopper toward first. Will Bennett fields it. Throw to second is not in time. A big hop, and Tucker Platt was not able to field it. That was a tough chance. Another run scores.
You take your out.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Because there was very little chance, I think, to get a double play on that one. So an error on the throw from Will Bennett. That was a tough hop for Tucker Platt. If he were able to field it cleanly, they probably would have been able to get him out. But unfortunately,
And once again, I'm just not sure why we're not coming home trying to shut those runners down.
here's a pitch swung on and missed. Left fielder Dalton Payne singled his last time up. Struck out in the second. He's 1 for 2. So the Raiders have broke through for 3 runs here in the top half of the 6th inning to take a 3-0 lead. Here's one ripped foul as he turned on that inside pitch. Well out in front of that one, but he put a charge into it. The hardest hit ball he's hit tonight by far. And he's in the count now. Behind in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. But Lafayette Harrison, 3 runs across the plate, and they have first and second and just 1 out here in the 6th inning. Raiders on top 3-0. Break pitch swung on and missed. He struck him out. That is strikeout number 9 for Jacob Cayley. And that will bring up Nick Collier. Collier grounded out the pitcher his first time up. Struck out in the 5th. He's 0 for 2. And again, that foot right on the edge of the chalk on the inside part of that batter's box. Ground ball toward third. Gets past a diving Gavin Smith into left field. They're going to send the runner home. Drake McLaughlin's throw is a little bit high. Denny throws to third. I think they're going to get him out, and they do. A nice tag applied by Gavin Smith. But a run scores for Harrison, and the side is retired. The Raiders put 4 across the plate in that 6th inning. We go to the last half of the 6th. That's Harrison 4, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
WSAL's coverage of Barry's baseball presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has invested millions of dollars into the Logansport facility, demonstrating its confidence in the workforce created in the Logansport region. Tyson Fresh Meats is proud to be operating in Cass County. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Don't forget, Security Federal offers trust services. Plan for who's important after you're gone. Talk to the trust department at Security Federal. Member FDIC. This is Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. Harrison exploding for 4 runs in the top half of the 6th inning to take a 4-0 lead. And a tale of 2 different half innings. Logansport in the bottom of the 5th, 2nd and 3rd, and 1 out, did not score. Harrison put their first 3 men aboard. Actually, first 4 men aboard in that 6th inning, and they score 4 runs, and that's the difference in the game right now. 4-0 Harrison. But the Berries with 4, 5, and 6 due up here in the last of the 6th. Mike Meadows, Drake McLaughlin, and C.J. Helm to face James Ham, who has been dominant on the mound for the Raiders. Fastball misses down low, 1 ball, no strikes. The Berries with just 3 hits through 5 innings. Jacob Cox has reached base via an error a couple of times. That's been it against Ham. Here's a fastball, misses up high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, all 3 hits been in 3 different innings. So we have not been able to bunch anything together.
There's a pitch over but low. 3 balls and no strikes. And I was just looking. I don't think Ham has issued a base on balls so far tonight.
I don't think so.
So he's.
No, until Jacob walked those guys that first half of the inning. That was the first walks of the game.
There's a fastball for a called strike 1. Meadows taking all the way with the Berries in desperate need of base runners, down 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. 3 balls and a strike. Meadows can be choosy here, 3-1. It's a pitch, chopper toward short, big hop for Cochran. Throw to first gets above the first baseman. He comes down with it, but the throw pulls him off the bag, and so another error. This time, though, it's not on the first baseman.
Yeah, it's not on him. He did his job.
Yes,
he
he
did
did.
go up and get that ball, but throw was a little bit high and drew it off and didn't have a chance.
I'll tell you, Cochran's got a heck of an arm, but he takes a long time to get rid of that ball from shortstop. Unusual for an infielder. And unfortunately, he had to put a little extra on. His Meadows was busting down that baseline, and the throw sailed on him. So the Berries, with the third Lafayette Harrison error, have a man on with nobody out. Drake McLaughlin took a look at the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. And the Berries left fielder, Drake McLaughlin, he has one of the 3 Logansport hits. Here's one fouled back. 0-2. Harrison with 4 runs here in the top half of the 6th inning to take a 4-0 lead. The Berries trying to battle back. They have their leadoff man aboard with nobody out. Drake McLaughlin, though, in the hole at no balls and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. Nice breaking pitch that time for Ham. Strikeout number 9 for James Ham. Now we're going to get a pinch hitter for C.J. Hallam. It will be Jackson Crowd. So the first time we have seen Jackson Crowd this evening. Mike Meadows is at first base with 1 out.
Speaking of crowd, my scorebook's pretty crowded in that spot.
Yes, certainly.
It's hard to look up and down these lineups, either team, and find a guy that hasn't struck out tonight.
Here's one hit into right field for a base hit. Jackson Crowd, first pitch swinging, comes through with a hit. Meadows will hold up at second base. Took a long look to Coach Turner, but
Made a wise move.
Yep, Berries need lots and lots of hits to. Can't be running into outs, down 4 runs here late in the contest, but credit Jackson Crowd with a solid single.
First pitch, he just went that direction. He likes to hit it that way anyway.
Yes, he does.
Got the pitch he liked and smacked a nice line shot out there towards right field.
And I think we're going to get a runner for Jackson Crowd. And this will be Charlie O'Connor. So Jackson Crowd,
Let's see.
get a round of applause for his teammates. See, and I think we're going to get some activity down in the Lafayette Harrison bullpen as it is late in the game, even though Ham has been dominant. Pitch count starting to increase for Ham. So first and second with 1 out for the Berries here in the bottom of the 6th. Then Ethan Denny to the plate. Ethan is 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch swinging Denny, a high chopper toward first is foul. 1 ball and no strikes. Denny popped out to the center fielder back in the 2nd inning, struck out looking with a couple men aboard in the 4th. So the Bears actually stranded 2 runners in each of the last 2 innings, in the 4th and in the 5th inning. Credit James Ham for doing his job when the Berries threatened. They're threatening again here with first and second and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Here's a high chopper over the head. Cochran now steps on the bag to second. Throw to first is a double play, and the side is retired on a 6-3 double play. We go to inning number 7. It is Lafayette Harrison 4, Logansport nothing. There's more to come live from Logansport.
He's presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy at Mike Anderson with award-winning dependability year after year after year after year. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag. With American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. Now, more Berries baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Logansport. We have moved to the 7th inning. Harrison on top 4-0. We have a pitching change for the Berries. Matt Fouts in relief of Jacob Cayley. I'm trying to check. Looks like no other changes defensively. McLaughlin, Cox, and O'Connor remain in the outfield. Bennett, Meadows, Platt, and Gavin Smith in the infield. And Ethan Denny, who made the Berries last out, is emerged from the dugout after getting his gear on. He'll remain in the lineup behind the plate. So the Berries have had 2 men aboard in the 4th, in the 5th, and in the 6th, but have not been able to score any runs as James Ham just continues to impress on the mound for these Harrison Raiders. So for Harrison here, in the top of the 7th inning, 9-1-2 due up. Jake Gothrop, Cade Simmons, and Grant McCoy. As we had a pitcher's duel through 5 innings, but Harrison erupting for 4 runs in the top half of the 6th inning. And Logansport with first and second in the bottom of the 6th, but Ham induced Ethan Denny into grounding into an inning-ending double play, ending the Berries' threat. So these two teams.
Well, you just get the feel that we really wasted a great pitching performance by Jacob, even though that that 6th inning didn't work out real well. But God, we were just right there in the cusp.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Still a good performance by Jacob.
Oh, no question.
We just haven't been able to support him. Not been able to drive anybody across the plate tonight.
And Jake Gothrop, who has 0 for 2, struck out both times he faced Jacob Hill. I'm sure he's delighted not to have to face him again. Here's a curveball for a swing and a foul toward the Berries dugout. 0-1. That was a hanging breaking pitch. Gothrop's eyes lit up, but he was out in front of it just a little bit too much. Matt got that one up just a little bit higher than he would have liked. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch on the way from Fouts. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. As the weather has cooperated tonight. 25-minute rain delay to start things off, but we were looking at the radar and it looked like it was going to be out of here. And sure enough, it did. They've been able to get this game in. Here's a pitch foul back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Jacob threw 88 pitches tonight. Ironically, Saturday against Anderson, Jacob Cox threw 88 pitches.
Oh, okay. Here's a 2-2 pitch, breaking pitch, misses inside. Gothrop ducked out of the way. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's Matt Fouts. I believe this is his 4th consecutive game that he's appeared in on the mound.
He's been getting a lot of appearances, yeah.
Here's a high pop fly. Back of the screen. Count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitched both games in the Saturday doubleheader against Anderson, and I believe he got in the Mechaniquag game.
You're exactly right.
On Friday night. So.
4th streak, yep. 4th straight game for Matt.
He's done a pretty good job out of this, out of the Berries bullpen so far this season. Payoff pitch on the way. Fastball misses up high. Ball 4. So the leadoff man is on base for the 2nd consecutive inning for the Raiders. And now to the top of the order, and Cade Simmons. Ground rule double. Leading off the 6th inning, he ended up scoring. That was a jump start to the Harrison offense, that big 4-run 6th inning. Single back in the 3rd. Tried to bunt his way on his first time up, so he's 2 for 3. Throw to first, just getting back safely as Gothrop has had a big lead over there at first base. Credit Fouts for keeping an eye on him and keeping him close. These two teams in action tomorrow against before the North Central Conference Tournament. Here's a pitch, misses up high, 1 ball, no strikes. We've seen Fouts with pretty good control, but he's missing up in the zone here on these first couple of batters. Uncharacteristic for Fouts. As you talked about earlier, location is the key with this kid. And his location has been pretty good so far. Now trying to bunt his way on. Fastball misses up high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, you don't want to get any more guys on with that middle of that order coming up.
Yeah, they did a lot of damage last time through the order. There's 1, 2, 3, and 5 in the batting order. Scored those 4 runs.
Yeah.
Fouts from the stretch. Here's a pitch, misses up high. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, you nailed it. Everything's up high.
Seems to be fighting it just a little bit out there. Gothrop a pretty big lead over there at first base. You would think Simmons taking all the way 3-0, which he does. Letter high fastball for a called strike, 3-1. Well, you know, Simmons wanted to pull the trigger on that fastball, letter high, but the right move was made to take 3-0, especially with Fouts struggling to find the strike zone here in the early part of his appearance. Here's the swing and a miss. Throw down to first, diving back safely is Gothrop. And the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So that was a pretty good pitch that time from Fouts. Got Simmons out ahead of it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if Harrison decides to turn the runner loose, which they do to stay out of the double play. Here's a called strike 3 for out number 1. Throw down to second, not in time. And Simmons thought it was ball 4, so he flipped the bat to the dugout, started taking off towards first, but I think it was a good call from the home plate umpire. Gothrop does steal second. So he's in scoring position with just one out. That was the 10th strikeout of Harrison batters tonight. And Grant McCoy, a beautiful bunt his last time up. Here's a breaking pitch, misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. But at least it's these pitches are now down in the zone for Fouts after the first few were missing up in the zone. So he's got that location back on track. 1-0 pitch, high fly ball into left field off the end of the bat. Drake McLaughlin camps under it, makes the catch. Out number 2.
Yeah, it's a little more like it.
And that will bring Trey Cochran to the plate. He was a semi-intentional walk, I guess you could say. It was 3-0 when the first base open. The Bears decided to put him on his last time up. So he scored a run, ripped a solid single his first time up. In between those 2 times, he popped out to Will Bennett in foul territory at first. So 1 for 2 officially for Cochran with a man on at second and 2 outs here in the 6th, or the 7th, beg your pardon.
Go.
High pop fly on the right side of the infield, long run for Will Bennett, who was in front of Meadows, but nice like, Will, you called it.
Calling it.
He's like, nope, you're calling it, Will. I'll back out and let you make the catch, which he does. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We go to the last of the 7th. It's Harrison 4, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Barry's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. With over 2,000 employees operating from their Logansport facility, processing pork and poultry to feed millions of people around the world. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. With over 80 years of dedication to the Cass County community, Security Federal strives to provide a better kind of banking, like summer nights and fireflies. We go better together. Security Federal, member FDIC. Let's go back to the ballpark for Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Logansport down to their final 3 outs as they trail Lafayette Harrison 4-0. 9, 1, and 2 are the scheduled hitters for the Berries. And it looks like, 8, 9, and 1, beg your pardon, 8, 9, and 1. Gavin Smith will lead things off. Is that Ramey Fooster in the on-deck circle? Looks like he will bat in the pitcher's spot. So Gavin with one of Logansport's 4 hits, a solid single up the middle his last time, got all the way to third before he was stranded. That's the difference in the game. The Berries had 2 men on in each of the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning, couldn't score. Harrison came through and they got their man on board in the 6th. Here's a pitch over but low, 1 ball and no strikes. There is some activity in the Harrison bullpen, but as much as Ham has been in control, I think they'll give him every opportunity to finish this game out for the Raiders with a 4-run lead here in the last of the 7th. High pop fly down the first base side. Looks like it may get out of play, and it just does. I guess it tailed a little bit more off that right-hand bat, so it was well out of play. A ball and a strike. Freshman Gavin Smith.
Ham is he's about the middle 80s also as far as pitches, so he's a big, strong senior. He's, I'm sure, right in his comfort zone.
Oh, yeah, yep. 1-1 pitch on the way to Gavin Smith. Over but low. 2 balls and a strike. These 2 teams scheduled to play tomorrow night at Harrison. 5:30 first pitch. We'll be on the air with the pregame show at about 5:20 here on WSAL. Here's a high pop fly foul down the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then after tomorrow, we'll have the North Central Conference tourney on Saturday. Time and location unknown, although we have a pretty good idea. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. He struck him out. Strikeout number 10 for James Ham. So 20 combined strikeouts tonight between the 2 teams. And some outstanding pitching from both sides. Now Ramey Fooster will pinch hit in the pitcher's spot as Matt Fouts came on in relief.
Just a hair over half of every out made tonight's been via the strikeout.
Here's a pitch swung on a miss. Fooster, or not swung on a miss, fouled back to the screen. And we got Jacob Cox racing the Raiders. And the Raider was victorious.
We're losing that battle, aren't we?
But not from a lack of effort from Coxie, who very nearly made the play. 0-1 on Raymond Fooster. His pitch misses down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. But again, I like what I see every time Fooster's come to the plate this year for the Berries. Swings a pretty good bat for Logansport. Here's a swing and a miss, 1 and 2, and that was nasty. His ham came down from the side, and that had some serious break on that breaking pitch. Fooster bailing out as that was a tough pitch. There's another from the side.
Yeah.
Fooster able to fight that one off, though. Right in on his hands, 1 ball and 2 strikes. My credit, Fooster, he didn't back out of the way of that one. He stood in there and fought off a nasty pitch from Ham. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Logansport trailing 4-0. Here's the pitch. Down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As again, we said there is some activity in the Harrison bullpen, but he's just trying to stay loose in case they need him. Here's a pitch. Just missed inside. As that one had a late break on it, but I think it missed the inside part of the plate.
I think it did. Yep.
So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. But Ham throwing a lot of breaking pitches to Fooster on this at bat. Here's another breaking pitch. High chopper toward third. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first is in time. As Whaley fielded on the big hop and easily threw Fooster out at first base for the second out of the Logansport 7th inning, and the Berries down to their last at bat, Jacob Cox, who has reached base via an error from the first baseman twice. So again, his on-base percentage continues to impress. Here's a breaking pitch for a called strike 1, 0-1. Coxie took a long look at the umpires. That might have been a little bit low, but certainly a good pitch. Here's a ground line shot off the glove of the second baseman and into right center field. as Collier had a chance on that.
Okay.
Whew. So Jacob Cox, for the 3rd time in his 4 plate appearances, reaches base.
Thought he had that hit easily, but that second baseman, a fairly tall second baseman, and he did manage to get a little bit of leather on it, but he smoked that ball.
Yes, he did. That was a shot. So, Berry's still alive. Will Bennett to the plate. Will is 0 for 3. Popped out to left in the first. Grounded out to in between first. Fine play by the first baseman his second time up. Grounded out to third his last time. So he's hit the ball all over the field, which is typical for Will Bennett. He takes a look at a breaking pitch for a strike, 0-1. So as well as he's been pitching, throwing a lot of fastballs, been throwing a lot of breaking pitches here in the 7th inning. That's the mark of a good pitcher. 4th time through the order, keeping the Berries off balance. Here's a ground ball just fouled on the third base side. 0-2. Took a little something off that one. Harrison 4, Logansport 0. The Berries batting with 2 outs, a man on first here in the last of the 7th inning. Will Bennett with an 0-2 count. Fastball misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tucker Platt in the on-deck circle would love to get one more at bat here tonight for the Berries. Logansport down to their last strike. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Bennett. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I hope Tucker's thinking that way. Yeah. He's probably been talking to himself after every at-bat tonight, because this is just un-Tucker-like.
This pitch, slow roller toward third. Going to be a tough play for Whaley. Fields it with a bare hand. Throw to first. Not in time. Gets away from the first baseman, so Coxie's able to get down to third. So an infield single from Will Bennett. Whaley made a heck of a play with that bare hand stop. But couldn't get much on the throw as Will moves down the baseline pretty well. So first and third. There's a couple of hits for Logansport here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Tucker Platt, as you mentioned, an un-Tucker-like performance. He is 0 for 3 and has struck out each of his 3 times to the plate. And he just, he looked confused, especially on that last at-bat, as he was, whatever Ham's been thrown, Tucker's just not been able to pick up very well tonight. But see what he can do here on his 4th attempt. First and third and 2 outs for Logansport. Here's a ground ball toward first. It is fair and stepped on the bag by the first baseman, by Jacob Kyle, and the side is retired. Tucker, with a long look at the home plate umpire, he wanted that to be foul, but home plate umpire standing right there had a perfect look at it. And the side is retired. The Berries, though, do get a couple of hits, and they leave 2. Our final score is Harrison 4, Logansport 0. We'll step aside for a break. Be back to wrap things up live from Logansport.
Mary's Baseball on WSAL is presented in part by the Mike Anderson Auto Group and Tyson Fresh Meats. Without their generous support of high school athletics on the airwaves, this coverage